Hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm good and you. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, likewise. It's good to have you again. I was following your stuff on Facebook regarding now your second book, so now we'll get to those
Mhm.
questions. Now, how far are
Right.
you with book two?
Okay, so book two, I have finished writing. So I'm in the process of editing and layouts. The layouts are a bit tricky because each page has a different layout because certain pages will only have four blocks and another page might have six. So I'm in the process of layouts. I've done the editing and I've spoken to because it's self-published, I've spoken to my printers and I told them, be ready because book two is on its way. So yeah, we're almost done. Almost done. Now.
Okay, all right. So the second question to you is, how did you feel through your journey for the first book you did, book one?
Okay, that experience was amazing. Like, if I could say mind blowing, it was mind blowing, right? So, my journey, it was a quick journey, but a lot happened. So, right from companies like Multi Marketing to Bivan Groups. Bivan Groups is the printers that I print the shadow with. Multi marketing is the website where the digital copy is of the shadow, where anyone can find it. I mean, I had a lot of experiences with the newspapers like Rising Sun, The Citizen, Queensborough newspapers, a lot with magazine as well, like I Am Warrior magazine, also SA Suburb magazines. It just has grown to a point where the shadower is even on a website in Colorado. It's called the First Comics. So if you type up First Comics, and they'll have the shadower there and the link, which will take you back to either Amazon or multi marketing. We also did an interview, I think, a couple whiles back by an interviewer. I really can't pronounce her name, but I think it was a website called Comic Basis that was in Croatia. So
Oh,
it was very exciting for the shadowers to actually reach that far. And I hope it can reach to further lands like USA, Britain, Australia, and hoping it can get past the producer of Marvel, which is Kevin Feige. But fingers crossed with that. So my experience was amazing. I think also we did an interview with the Cape Town Daily Show, TV show. And
wow.
that for me, it has been an amazing experience. It really was an eye opener as well, um, to how comics works and how people are welcoming it. And I didn't know that, people are so accepting out there, especially in South Africa.
Hmm.
So that was like a huge experience for me. I think not only that, also when I launched the Shadower book, I did it at Project Mayhem. I didn't know Project Mayhem existed until I did a
Hmm.
comic book. And that place is amazing. You find a whole lot of collectibles, right? From comic books to like an Iron Man figure or even Deadpool stuff. So it was actually amazing. It was nice to also meet new artists as well. I mean, I think Sean Isaacs as well. He's one of the illustrators for one of the Marvel characters or many Marvel characters, if I'm not mistaken. I got to meeting him as well. Also everyone else, it's been amazing. And I think being part of the Durban International Book Fair as well, that was a good experience. There were over 400 authors there, but to see how supportive South Africa can be and the Durban community was amazing for me. Yeah.
Okay, what was memorable for you?
I think the most memorable part was Project Mayhem, the experience I had with them. Not only were they very welcoming and the community was so accepting, I think also I got to do cosplay. So Project Mayhem, you can do cosplay anywhere. So whatever event they have, you can go for it. So even if it's a movie night that they're planning to do, like the Spider-Man multiverse one, you got to wear your cosplay outfit for anything. And I think also getting experience to sit in kit car. So that for me was one of the main highlights. And I think the Durban International Book Fair, I wore my Doctor Strange cosplay when I put my comic book out there. It was an amazing experience to see how the community support you and how they uplift you as well, you know? So that was it for me.
What to expect with book two?
Okay, book two. Book two, the title of book two is called The Shadower, and it says expect the unexpected. The reason
Okay.
why it's titled that is because there's a bit of a twist to the story. There is a villain, yes, and the main characters are there, but we do have new characters. And the new characters are not really from South Africa. So we have people from Nigeria
Oh,
and Australia, I think it's Australia and the UK. So we have new characters in this book, and I can't wait for everybody to eventually get their hands on it once it's published.
what do writers love?
Okay, I know that's a very vast question, but writers, it depends. I mean, writers' first thing is to entertain the people that read, right? It's all because there's different categories, it depends. Well, for me, mostly what I feel what writers love is to show emotion because we live in a world that doesn't really show emotion because it's one of the vulnerabilities that people have. So I think when it comes to writers, you can show emotion on pen and paper or ink, and sorry, my dog, and
It's okay.
you won't be judged for it or you won't be misread, but you'll be understood. I think that's one of the main things for it. Also, I mean, if people don't know how to uplift others, I mean, if someone reads a simple quote, it can uplift them or it can push them to determination or it can help them reach their goals. So I feel like writers have a lot more than just writing a story. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about the fantasy story you're publishing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the fantasy story is a love fantasy story. I am in the process of publishing it. Hopefully, I can have hard copies available by next month. So I'm doing this story is called Bring It All Back, and I've done it via a publishing company called Mix Publishing, right? That's in Mpumalanga. So I've spoken to someone named Edna Swanepoel, and she has helped me through this process. I mean, this story about publishing it, I think fantasy is most of it. What I've done is I've tried to draw a line between reality and fantasy. So in my story, I mentioned South Africa and actual places in South Africa, and I mentioned places in London where it ties up. And then I'll add in my fantasy and unrealistic stories in between. So I'm hoping that people love the story when it comes out, and hopefully by next month it would.
Okay. What can we expect without giving away the story?
Okay, so it's a story between two people, and it's where him and her doesn't really believe in love or they gave up on it. And the two main things in the story is a specific phone call and letters. So I'm gonna leave it as that. If they want to know more, they must read the book.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, are there any funny moments throughout your writing?
Oh, plenty, plenty, plenty. I think the main one for me is when when you're creating a character that it needs to be funny, and then when you reread it, it's either you end up laughing about the character you wrote, or you end up wondering what in the world did I just write, you know? So I think for me that's the main things, and also when you create the character and you try to make it funny, you have to try and make it funny, but you got to have some wit in it as well. So I think for me, that's the main thing. It also, I think everyday life inspires you to create scenes, to create funny thoughts, to create. I think I think one of the lines a character used is a line that my mother probably used. So it's everyday realistic experiences that make you laugh that you would want to share with the rest of the world. I think that's what's funny moments for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much for giving me your time, and I look forward more from you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thank you so much, Siddharth. I really appreciate it. And thank you to my listeners out there. Love you a lot.
Take care.